You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
Welcome one and all to another edition of the NBL Live pregame show that's brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3ks.com. They do that overlay you see here on NBL Live and a ton of other graphics for us. They're super affordable, which is my favorite part. So if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to Web3ks.com. They're the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, folks. I'm always you. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver. Sonny, week 2 action, and we get to square off in a non-confrontational format. I can only hope it is just a good old-fashioned NBL Live game.
Yeah, you know, good old-fashioned NBL Live game. I think there's going to be enough conflict in this one with all the storylines leading in, so I don't think we need to create any extra conflict.
All right, well, let's take a look at, in case you haven't seen, let's take a look at that NBL Live schedule, folks. Just released a couple days ago. You can get a little layout of what we're looking at for this season of NBL Live. And Sonny, I'm super excited about this schedule because we got some great matchups. I'm looking at week 4, Seahawks and Steelers. We've seen that before in the NBL Super Bowl. We've also got a great matchup later in the season. I'm looking at week 13, Lions and Cowboys. I think this might be our best NBL Live schedule yet.
I think you're always going to say that because you have a hand in creating that schedule.
Okay, I would like to point out, Unisolated creates the schedule. I don't do anything other than just give them the thumbs up. So
right, so you're
delegating.
The schedule.
I don't do
Same
anything.
Thing. I mean, obviously having 2 Titans games on there definitely brings it up a notch. I will have to agree with that. But outside of that, I look for that Indianapolis-Oakland game. The 2 teams I've played this year so far, I'm excited to see those 2 match up. And I kind of like that Ravens versus 49ers game. 49ers my kind of dark horse for the year. Curious to see how they do on NBL Live.
Yeah, that should be a fun game. A lot of teams we haven't seen on NBL Live before, but a great matchup overall. I'm also looking forward to that Week 10 Broncos and Packers matchup. I think that one could be a very good one. Of course, as you get towards the end of the season, we bring you the best matchups possible here on NBL Live, so stay tuned for that one. We'll be throwing up the schedule throughout the season. All right, let's get to some players to watch for today's game. First, on the side of the Arizona Cardinals, we have David Johnson, the running back. Hey, Sonny, I don't know if you knew this. Running back is 2 words. I like to point. The only reason I bring it up, I love our graphics guy, Kyle. But he was talking some mad crap in chat today about sticking to whatever we're good at and let him do the graphics. Spelling, not what he's good at, English. But nonetheless, David Johnson, running back for the Arizona Cardinals, had a great first game, 86 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. Sonny, this Cardinals team is not going to succeed by airing the ball out. This is a team that is a run-first team. David Johnson, one of the most talented in the league, and he's going to have a big task today because he's going to have to carry a lot of this load for this Cardinals offense.
Well, that is true. The only issue is it's easy to get behind quickly to this Detroit Lions offense. They can really put up some points quickly. So you got to utilize David Johnson early in the game. You got to control the clock. And you got to limit possessions to Matt Stafford. I think David Johnson's the kind of guy that can do that. What he has to do to win this game, though, is break 1 or 2 big runs because I don't think just ground and pound 3-4 yards down the field is really going to get it done tonight.
Remind me, Sonny Weaver, I'm pretty sure we've confirmed the Detroit Lions were incredibly interested in David Johnson. In fact, they were begging to have him come to Detroit.
Yeah, I heard the Lions were heartbroken when the Cardinals pulled a fast one on them and ended up franchise tagging them. In fact, the Lions did a whole BTF show on how badly they wanted David Johnson. So I got to tell you, this is a little bit of a revenge game tonight.
On the flip side for the Detroit Lions, the new face in Detroit, big tight end Rob Gronkowski. Now, Owner Bomber didn't mince words, Sonny. They got absolutely embarrassed in the first game. They are looking to have a big bounce back. Gronk didn't really get involved at all, only 2 catches in the game. But we know that if Rob Gronkowski and Matt Stafford can have any sort of chemistry like he did with Eric Ebron, the NFC North has to look out because Rob Gronkowski is still a physical freak and is still dominant in the middle of the field.
Yeah, the Gronk is the man. As you can see, only 2 receptions, 24 yards early on in this season. I look for Stafford to try to figure out ways to utilize him. Obviously, Eric Ebron was fast around the edge. Gronk's not quite that speed threat, but he's a very reliable target. He's got the jumping ability. He can go across the middle. And I look for Stafford to really try to utilize him tonight, especially down in the red zone, try to get him some looks down there.
All right, we are about ready to send it out to the game, folks. Bomber and JY facing off today, the Arizona Cardinals and the Detroit Lions. Sonny, I got to get your prediction here. This looks like one that I'm pretty sure where I know where you're going to go, but are you predicting any sort of upset coming from owner JY and the Arizona Cardinals, looking to maybe rub a little salt in the wound, the fact that they got to keep David Johnson, or the Detroit Lions coming off a loss, angry and ready to prove themselves as one of the top teams in the NBL, going to run away with this one and beat the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, unfortunately, I think we're going to be talking about movies about halfway through this one. I think the Lions go up big quickly, and the Cardinals don't have the offense to match down the stretch. I'm going to go ahead and go 31-10 Lions over Cardinals.
Yeah, get your predictions in the chat, folks. Love to hear what you guys think, but we're about ready to get this one underway. Week 2 action here in the NBL, and we got a good one on hands for you tonight. We appreciate everybody tuning into the NBL Live pregame show. But coming up next, we got a battle between 2 NFC teams looking for some early season momentum. It's the Arizona Cardinals and the Detroit Lions. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Jake Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. Yes, and we are live, folks. We got a great NFC matchup for you today here on NBL Live. It's the Arizona Cardinals and the Detroit Lions. NBL Live broadcast 152. I'm OSU. I'm hanging with my man, Sonny Weaver. Sonny, I'm looking in the chat, and the predictions that are coming in, let's just say everybody's thinking we're going to be talking about movies or fast food restaurants, anything else in the second half. Almost everyone's predicting a blowout. Here's my question. I'm sorry, I just got thrown off by somebody saying Jag 70, Lions 7. We all know 12 EHD Fantastic is an isolated second account, really pumping those Jaguars. But what are the Arizona Cardinals have to do today? What do they have to do to keep this one close, maybe give themselves a chance at the end?
Well, they can start by trying to hurt Matthew Stafford. That would probably be helpful. Next, they got to run the ball. We talked about David Johnson's got to break a couple big ones if they want to have any chance to get in this one, because I'm not sure they're going to be able to slow it down. Patrick Peterson, obviously very good on one side of that ball, but still questions in the secondary. Tyrann Mathieu still very good as well. So I think what you got to do right here, they're going to get the opening kick. They've got to take together a long drive, and they got to get David Johnson going.
Well, the Arizona Cardinals are going to get an opportunity here on the road to get the offense on the field first. That can sometimes settle a team down, get your offense on the field, and let's see what they can do in this one, as we're going to get to see David Johnson and the Arizona Cardinals come out first in this game. Yeah, Sonny, it is hard to see a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. Detroit's coming off a loss against a division opponent, a loss in which they got absolutely embarrassed, and they're playing here at home. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I think an angry Lions team is not the Lions team I'd be wanting to play right now.
I formation for the Arizona Cardinals, 1st and 10. 2 wide receivers out there, 1 to each side. 1 tight end on the right side of that formation. Now, man going in motion from the right over to left, putting both wide receivers on the left side of that formation. And on 1st and 10, who else is going to get the carry but David Johnson, and he will get up to the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9.
And so obviously they're trying to get Johnson involved here. I'd like to see him maybe spread it out a little bit. I think stacking that box against this run defense is a tough way to run unless you're going to try to break it outside quick.
2nd and 9 for the Arizona Cardinals. Ball's on the 23-yard line. I formation out there. Once again, 2 wide receivers. Ross split out to the left. Brown split out to the right. And on 2nd and 9, it is going to be a pass play. And it's going to be a splash play as the first sack of the day. Hyder getting into the backfield. The first Sonny Weaver splash play. That only took 2 plays, Sonny, and you're already seeing the quarterback on his back. Cam Newton, he may have the ability to get outside, but he couldn't get outside there.
And he really shouldn't have been. The tackle took outside leverage, ran the defensive end upfield, and Newton rolls out of the pocket into it, and that was a problem. You need to step into that pocket. Obviously, it was a 3-man route combination. That's a problem because it was all covered. Got to have better play design here.
And this is the situation they need to stay out of 3rd and 15. These 3rd and longs are not going to go well for this team that relies on the run. I formation for Cam Newton now in Arizona. It's going to be a handoff to David Johnson right up the middle. Dancing his way up to the 22-yard. Excuse me, that's McNichols into the game on 3rd down. Dance his way up to the 22-yard line. It's still not enough, but you like to see that out of the Arizona coaching staff, Sonny. They didn't try to force the ball downfield, didn't try to convert that 15 yards. They just ran the ball, made sure that they were able to punt this one away.
A little bit of a safe bet, and I get it. I think, we talked about it. You're going to need to be able to keep up, and that's not a good way to keep up.
Well, and that's a nice return there. All the way into enemy territory to the 49-yard line. Now we get to see this Lions offense. Sonny, this team was shut down by the Minnesota Vikings last week. We saw a ton of interceptions. Matt Stafford went out early, but this Detroit Lions team couldn't find anything going, got absolutely obliterated by their division rivals.
Yeah, not a good look for the Detroit Lions, and so look for the rebound tonight. Look for them to throw early here, try to get Stafford in a rhythm.
Yeah, 1st and 10 now. Matt Stafford in the shotgun formation. Watch the slot, the new receiver, Beckham in the slot there. He is a speedster on 1st and 10. Stafford's looking underneath to Marvin Jones. Makes the man miss, but he's going to get up to the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2.
Good play there by Marvin Jones. It looks like he shakes Bodie Calhoun there, who tried to come and make the tackle. Instead, it's Peterson that does get it. Look for Beckham here. I think they're going to try to get that rookie early on here in this game.
Yeah, they are big on this guy. He is a speedster, a burner like the Detroit Lions have not seen before. And they've had some great wide receivers out there. Heard comparisons to Steven Katula, who was a speedster the Lions drafted in the last cycle. Sonny, I know you've only seen limited amounts of this kid, but what do you think he brings to the Detroit offense?
Speed. Speed is what he brings, and that's really what this Detroit Lions offense has been looking for. They've got the reliable guys on the outside. You got your Golden Tate, your Marvin Jones, obviously Ebron Ghana, who wasn't too reliable in his own right, but now they've got the speed, and that's something I'd be really worried about right now if I'm Arizona.
2nd and 2 for the Lions. Matt Stafford under center. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 2nd down. Looking over to the left side, and that was a bad throw by Stafford. He had the man open in the gap of the zone. Instead, it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. And, Sonny, this was a moment where we might have seen their new signing, Marshawn Lynch, but much like he was in Oakland, he is injured once again. This running game is going to have to help out Matt Stafford.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic throw there by Matthew Stafford on 2nd down.
Yeah, really not accurate at all. So on 3rd and 2, it's Stafford driving back pass, looks over the middle of the field. He finds Rob Gronkowski. First time we've called his name today. It's a 1st down, and that's what Gronk can do. We talk about his size down the field and how athletic he is, but really where he is going to be most effective for Detroit, these underneath routes, he can really box out the defense, put his body in a good situation to catch the ball and make sure that nobody's going to make a play on it. 1st and 10 now for Stafford and the Lions. He drops back pass, looking underneath once again to Harvey Beckham. Has the 1st down, makes a man miss, shakes off another. He gets up to the 19-yard line, give him 16 on the play. Harvey Beckham getting involved early for the Detroit Lions.
And if you're Arizona, you got to recognize they're working you underneath badly right now. You got to start playing underneath, take away some of these short, easy routes, and really try to make a play on the ball.
1st-round pick out of Nebraska, Harvey Beckham. It's going to be a handoff to Keith Marshall on 1st down, and that looks like the Detroit Lions running game we have known and loved for a couple seasons now, Sonny. Losing a yard on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, the running attack in Detroit. One that they try to get going, but it just doesn't seem to work well. Look down here, the 21-yard line. You're in the red zone. Look for a little bit, maybe a little screen, something like that. They like to do a lot of screens down here.
2nd and 11 for the Lions. Cooper going in motion from the left to the right, and they're going to run a little toss play to Keith Marshall. This one well blocked. He has some openings over there. He's going to get up to the 11-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Sonny, we've seen that juke move. We've seen it over and over. Why are defenders still falling for it?
Well, you know, over pursuit, that's a problem when you're trying to take away and try to get outside leverage. You're trying to help the guy in the backside to come up and make a play. And, you know, sometimes it's tough to tackle these guys. They're shifty.
Now 3rd and short I formation for Stafford. Tate out to the left, Jones out to the right, Gronkowski on the right side of that formation as well. Here on 3rd and 1. Arizona backing off the Detroit Lions wide receivers. A strategy we've seen before. Seen it not work very well as he's actually going to task this underneath to the fullback, Terry, and he doesn't get enough. It is 4th down. They're going to be forced to settle for a field goal. And Sonny, that one looked like a misread by Matt Stafford. The defenders backed up. It looked like Golden Tate was pretty open over the middle field. Instead, Stafford drops it off underneath. Doesn't get the 1st down.
I wonder if this is a reaction to how they played last week. So far, they've had 4 completions. 3 of them have been thrown within 5 yards or less of the line of scrimmage. I'm wondering if Matthew Stafford's still a little shook from last week, scared to throw it downfield. Arizona's got to make those adjustments until they prove they can go over top. You got to play the underneath, and you got to keep everything kind of just limited to where they catch that ball.
But, Sonny, you got to, yeah, I mean, for the Arizona Cardinals, that drives a win, right? Forcing Detroit got all the way down the field, forcing them into a field goal. The defense got to feel like they won that drive.
Yeah, that's great, but at some point you're probably going to have to get some turnovers because I'm not sure this offense is going to be able to put up a lot of points.
Yeah, they either got to get turnovers, the offense got to get going. Now 1st and 10. Arizona 1 yard of offense on their first
single
drive.
Coverage on the left. Watch that. I'd take a shot deep right now.
Well, let's see what they do. I formation. David Johnson at the top of that I. Ross out to the left, Brown out to the right. Quick 3-step drop. He does find Ross one-on-one. Didn't go deep. They just did a quick little slant route. Ross able to come up with that one, get 14 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 1st down for the Arizona Cardinals.
And that's a bad read by Cam Newton. You got to check that to a go route. You had single coverage. You had a single high safety, so you know it's probably cover 1, which means that slant route runs into help across the middle. You got to work upfield or outside because you got one-on-one coverage there.
1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. Once again, I formation. 2 tight ends to the left side. 1 wide receiver. It is John Ross out to the right side. And on 1st and 10, blitz is coming. He's going to have to dump this off underneath. He finds his tight end to the 43-yard line. Arizona bringing in Cam Newton in the offseason. What do you think of the signing? Cam Newton sort of run out of Carolina, now get an opportunity on the West Coast. Do you like the signing by the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, they went out and they got Cam Newton. They paid him a lot of money. They went and drafted Ross out of Miami in the 1st round with the 15th overall pick. So you'd think they're going to be a pass-heavy team with all the investment they made, but they still rely pretty heavily on the run. So I think there's still a little bit of identity crisis here in Arizona.
2nd and 6 now for the Arizona Cardinals. It is going to be a handoff right up the gut. Trying to get to the 1st down was David Johnson. He'll be about a yard short to the 48-yard line. We'll give him 4 yards on the play, bring up a 3rd and 2.
And so we talked about that. David Johnson got to break one here soon. Not liking those tight formations. I still would like to see Johnson in a spread formation.
Also, just a correction. That is not his name is not John Ross. It's Jamarquis Ross. I don't know how I didn't get that one. That one's my bad.
He's a fast Ross.
He's a fast Ross with a jet. You got to get some new names. Come on, 3rd and 2 here. They're going to hand the ball off to David Johnson, and it turns out the Detroit Lions were pretty prepared for David Johnson to get the ball on 3rd and short. A little predictable there for the Cardinals. It ends up in a 3-yard loss, and they're going to be forced to punt the ball away after a promising start to the drive.
And when you're so run-heavy as an offense, and you know the 3rd and 2 is running territory, motioning a guy towards the side you're running is such a predictable way of doing things that basically you let that defense key in on you. You can't be doing that kind of thing. I get it. You're in a game you're probably not supposed to win. Take a shot on 3rd and short and make somebody try to guess. Make them pay and see if you can try to win this game. You've got nothing to lose here. Let's get crazy.
Well, the Lions are going to get the ball back as we're nearing the end of the 1st quarter, up 3-0, looking to cash in on a touchdown on this drive after settling for a field goal on the last one. They got a 1st and 10, Stafford under center, Marshall in the backfield, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Golden Tate split out to the left. Marvin Jones Jr. on the right side. 2 staples in Detroit still here, still getting Matt Stafford to throw the ball at least near them on 1st and 10. Here comes Matt Stafford looking down the middle of the field, and that was a dangerous throw. Linebacker dropping back into coverage, able to bat that one away. Lucky it wasn't intercepted. He's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and they really had the post on the opposite side there. That linebacker shaded out to that side, and the one on the other side didn't quite play it as well. Stafford just kind of misreading that one.
Second misread from Matt Stafford. 2nd and 10. He drops back to pass. Looking over to the left side. That's not a misread. That's Golden Tate who gets the catch. First down marker. A little Nike check comeback route. It's a first down to the 34-yard line. That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Detroit up 3-0, and the score is fairly close. Arizona's certainly not out of this game, but so far, Detroit's been fairly in control.
Well, if you're Arizona, though, you're still happy because it hasn't turned into a track meet yet. And that was my worry coming in this game, that it was going to become a track meet, and you're not seeing that right now. And so, so far Arizona's playing well. Now, one thing to note, Beckham coming into the game, so look for something maybe to try to give him some rack here.
Yeah, Beckham split out to that right side. Tate split out to the left. 2 tight ends out there for Matt Stafford. Marshall in the backfield. 1st and 10. It's going to be Stafford dropping back to pass. Looks underneath to Harvey Beckham. He's going to be taken down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Lions, who are finding that speedy rookie, Harvey Beckham, out of Nebraska early in this game.
I still don't like what I'm seeing from Stafford. A lot of short underneath routes, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. I think he's shell-shocked. I think Matthew Stafford's a little shook.
Well, he did try that one deep pass and almost got intercepted. 2nd and 5 now. Tyler Porter saying, damn, nice haircut, OSU. Thanks, Ports. I appreciate you. Sonny, nice haircut to you, too.
Hey, thanks. Do it myself.
I figured. You know what? You're sort of a do-it-yourselfer, and it's clean. No, you didn't mess up. So good work. Good work.
That's what I go for. That's what I go for.
Not messing up.
Yep.
Yeah, set that bar real low, man. That's how I live my life. You can't trip over the bar. Just don't trip over.
One buzz cut at a time. That's how I live my life.
1st and 10 after the Keith Marshall run on 2nd down. Got him a nice chunk of yardage. 3 wide receivers out there for Matt Stafford. It's a play-action pass on 1st down. Stafford rolling out to the right. He finds Marshall. Did he get him? Keep that in bounds? He did at the 48-yard line. 3 yards on the play. Bring up a 2nd and 7.
Kind of a questionable call there by the referees. It looked like he got maybe 1 foot down. I didn't see 2 feet there. But again, Stafford looking downfield there, goes to the check down. We are seeing a much safer, maybe a little more timid Matthew Stafford tonight.
Yeah, 2nd and 7 now. Is there a second? You talk about second half Pittsburgh Steelers. Is there a second half Detroit Lions?
You never know, maybe. And there we go.
Well, he does find Golden Tate. Takes a big hit at the 29-yard line, but Stafford finally pushing it downfield. 8 of 10 to start this game. Finds his reliable number 1 wide receiver, Golden Tate, at the 29-yard line. Detroit in business right now. Arizona's offense is going to have to do something to keep up with these Lions.
Well, we'll see about that. I mean, Arizona gets a stop here and make it a 6-0 game, and you're feeling real good. So if I'm Arizona's defense, I may consider pressing up here, knowing that they like to work underneath. Press up on them and see if I can try to take some of these short underneath things away.
Yeah, they are not pressed up at all as they are backing off of the wide receivers on 1st and 10. It's a play-action pass, looking for Golden Tate, and Tate can't hang on to that one. Nice job there, able to pry that one away. And Sonny, we've seen the Detroit Lions struggle at times when pressure has been able to get there. So far, the Arizona Cardinals have not been able to get any pressure on the Lions, and they're only sending 4 or 5 guys at a time. That's being picked up by this Detroit Lions offensive line.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder now, do you have to send a little bit of pressure to get there? I mean, if they're going bend, not break, this is working all right for them.
2nd and 10, Marshall going in motion. Looks like they're set up a screen to the other side, though. It is Lynch with the catch, and Lynch is going to get out of bounds. I don't know why he didn't just go into the end zone.
That was interesting.
Marshawn Lynch in Detroit. Weird to see him in the blue and silver, but he is there. Wanted to make sure that Keith Marshall was able to get that touchdown. He didn't want to take away touchdowns from Marshall. As on 1st and goal, it's going to be I formation. 2 tight ends to the right side of that formation on 1st down. They're going to hand it off to Keith Marshall, and Marshall, he's not going to get quite there. He'll get down to the 1-yard line, bring up a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, you know what? Keith Marshall must be on Marshawn Lynch's fantasy team there, because I'm not real sure what happened.
And we know Marshawn Lynch is a big fantasy player, and I just think it's a bold choice drafting Keith Marshall. He's never really put up much points in Detroit. As Matt Stafford comes out, I formation, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. That's Gronkowski on the right side of the formation. Marshawn Lynch into the game at the top of the I, and on 2nd and goal, they're going to hand it off to Marshawn Lynch, and Marshawn Lynch isn't going to get there. He'll get a yard, put it right at the half-yard line, 3rd and goal. Sonny, this is the moment where I just say you have a big quarterback in Matt Stafford. Just have him lean forward and get in the end zone.
Yeah, this is a big play right here. If Arizona gets the stop here, you would be feeling really good right now if you're Arizona with under 3 minutes here in the second.
Well, it is 3rd and goal. 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. That's Golden Tate. I formation, Keith Marshall at the top of that. I back into the game here on 3rd down. Yeah, see, that offsides doesn't bother me because it basically gives them 2.5 inches.
I completely agree. I think trying to jump the snap down here is the perfect plan. What you're doing is you're trying to get that quick half step off the line, try to get some penetration, especially if it's a running play. You know, you want to try to penetrate that, shoot that gap, and stop the running back in the backfield.
3rd and goal for the Detroit Lions. Big formation, 3 tight ends as Stafford going for the sneak. And I guess he broke the plane just enough. He was pretty close to it. It's a touchdown for the Lions. They get into the end zone. This is unusual to see, though, Sonny Weaver. We have seen this Detroit Lions team use up a lot of clock. They've never really been a time of possession team. They've always been an explosive, big play offense. That was 11 plays and 79 yards. Their first drive was a 10-play drive, and they are eating up all the clock in this game.
I think we're seeing a new kind of, I don't know if it's improved, but a different Detroit Lions offense. You know, they had the one long Marshawn Lynch screen, but the reality is most of their passes go within the 10-yard range. They had the one deep out, you know, and they completed that and then threw a post that almost got picked off. And, I mean, for the most part, Stafford's trying to be, you know, interception conscious. He doesn't want to, you know, turn the ball over. Again, you know, as you age and get more mature, maybe you think you don't want to make those mistakes anymore.
Are you calling Matt Stafford old?
Yes. Okay. Very old.
I just want to make sure. 1st and 10, bunch formation to the right for Cam Newton. Ross out to the left. He's going to bring a tight end over from the right side to the left side. And on 1st and 10, they're going to hand the ball off to David Johnson. He'll get up to the 34-yard line. Another run there. That one looked like David Johnson got to the 2nd level. Had an opportunity to break that one if he either bounces it outside or cuts it more inside. Instead, he just sort of falls behind his blocker and only gets 8 yards on the play.
And those are the kinds of plays David Johnson needs to blow open because just not an explosive offense. So he's really where you got to go to try to get those explosive plays.
3 wide receivers over to the right side for Cam Newton. 1 tight end on the left side of that formation. David Johnson in at halfback, 2nd and 2. Quick 3-step drop. They're going to throw a little wide receiver screen out to the right side. And it's going to go to the 43-yard line. 1st down. Newton's only thrown 3 passes, but he has completed all of them. And Arizona's going to take this one down to the 2-minute warning. Looking to put some points on the board. Sonny, how important is it for the Arizona Cardinals to get some points on the board before halftime?
Well, it's paramount, and if they don't score here, this game's probably over. You got to at least come away with 3 here. You don't have to be crazy with the ball, but you got to move down the field and be conscious of the time. You got 3 timeouts. You got plenty of time. You know, a little upset there that, you know, the wide receiver juked back into the defender there, so got to be a little smarter.
John Brown's got to stay outside again. Detroit will be getting the ball to start the second half as Cam Newton dropping back to pass. Only a 3-man rush. Looks over the middle of the field. That might be the luckiest pass I've ever seen completed. There is no reason that one shouldn't have been intercepted. The Lions player dove the wrong way, though, and Arizona gets a 1st down at the 33-yard line.
Big misplay there by the Lions linebacker.
1st and 10, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends out there for Cam Newton. 1 wide receiver, David Johnson in a halfback. Minute 37 and counting here in the first half. He's going to be dropping back to pass once again. Looking. Oh, boy, he finds a man on the right side. It actually turns into a really nice gain up to the 15-yard line. He had crossers open on all sides of the field. Went with the shortest one, but because of a missed tackle, it ends up being a 1st down, and Arizona's inside the red zone.
And a lot of misreads here. Detroit looking like they're going for a lot of picks and just not quite playing the ball well.
1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. It's a play-action pass for Cam Newton. Rush is coming, has to get rid of it. Looking to the back of the end zone. And that one is intercepted by Moran. Going the other way. And Sonny, the one thing when you're an underdog on the road, turning the ball over is the last thing you want to do. That one, Cam Newton tried to throw that from the opposite side of the field to the back corner of the end zone. It turns out it just hangs up in the air because that's how physics works.
Well, Cam Newton's got a gun on him, but the problem there is you can't throw back across your body like that, especially on a deep out. Once you miss your kind of window, you just got to let it go.
1st and 10 for the Lions. They've got 2 timeouts and a minute 3. They can certainly put some points on the board. So on 1st and 10, it's a play-action pass for Matt Stafford. He rolls out to the right side. Rush is coming. He gets it off. Finds Tate down the middle of the field. It's a first down and more up to the 40-yard line. Detroit is in business. Sonny, get that movie list going because this one looks like it could be blown open before halftime.
And that was big. We talked about they needed to get some sort of score there, and that just didn't happen.
It's a handoff to Keith Marshall, who makes a man miss. He's got some room on the left side. Nobody's catching Keith Marshall 40 yards. Oh, how the tables have turned. Arizona was in the red zone, and just a short 30 seconds later, Detroit extends their lead to 16-0.
And there it is, folks, blowing the doors off. That's a little bit of a problem.
It's a lot of bit of a problem. And then Arizona absolutely should have blocked that one. Missed that one. Really, if you're the Arizona Cardinals right now, don't think you're feeling too good about this game, let alone your chances in the NFC West, because they are looking pretty comical out here right now.
Well, I'm glad I didn't pick the Arizona Cardinals. I did take the sleeper San Francisco 49ers, but yeah, that's a rough one out there in the NFC West.
Or there's still 31 seconds to go. Arizona still has plenty of time to allow somebody to score or score for themselves. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. Let's see how Arizona approaches this drive. If they just want to go into halftime and lick their wounds, or if they want to try to take a shot and cut into this lead. 17-0. Again, folks, Detroit getting the ball to start the second half. 1st and 10. Cam Newton's going to hand this one off to David Johnson. He only gets 4 yards on the play up to the 25-yard line. Bring up a 2nd and 6. Clock is running. And Sonny, it's interesting. This Arizona team, David Johnson has been their offense. They've been throwing it a whole lot so far in this game. A lot of it because of how Detroit has controlled the clock.
They have, but the problem is they just don't have an offense to compete here. I want to see them take a shot downfield with Ross, and they're just content with kind of running the clock.
2nd and 6 for the Arizona Cardinals. I formation as they're going to hand it off to David Johnson, and he's going to fight forward to the 28-yard line, but that's going to take us to halftime. 17-0 Detroit on top. Detroit completely in control. Arizona's made a lot of mistakes in this game. Now Detroit gets the ball to start the second half. Sonny, if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, what are you doing at this point in the game?
Well, you're worrying a little bit. I think you're worrying about, can my team score 17 points? I'm not sure they can against this defense, and big hit stick there, and would have been nice to get a turnover, but I think that's what it's going to come down to. You got to turn the ball over. I think you got to start sending extra blitzers, get to Matthew Stafford. You're going to need a splash play or two to get back in this game.
17-0. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in to NBL Live broadcast number 152. I'm hanging out with my man Sonny Weaver for this NFC matchup. Lions up 17-0. As it's a play-action pass for Matt Stafford. Rush is coming. He rolls out to the right side. Looks over the middle of the field, and look who it is. Keith Marshall wide open at the 50-yard line. Give him a first down. And Matt Stafford once again getting outside of the pocket, and his wide receivers are making plays and making sure that he gets some nice throwing lanes. That one, Keith Marshall, a great route up the middle of the field. And they're already at midfield, folks. This one getting out of hand quickly for Arizona. Stafford dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Looks underneath. It's Rob Gronkowski. He'll fight forward to the 43-yard line. 7 yards on the play. Bring up a 2nd and 3.
And again, they're working those underneaths. This newer, more interception, turnover conscious Detroit Lions, may be good for the team. However, not as much fun to watch. I want the gunslinger Matthew Stafford back.
Are you saying you miss the real Matt Stafford?
I kind of do.
2nd and 3 for the Lions. Stafford dropping back pass. Looks like they're setting up a little screen pass. It is caught by Marshall. It is blocked beautifully. Keith Marshall, he might get out of here. Touchdown, Lions. Oh, and the man coverage was out there. They looked ready to stop that one, Sonny Weaver. But the comical Arizona Cardinals defense, and that defense is in quotation marks, folks, doesn't do a thing. It's blocked beautifully, and Keith Marshall finds the end zone.
Yeah, it should have been a pick-6 run the other way. Instead, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, and Sonny, what we're seeing so far is Matt Stafford being more interception conscious. It's up and good, 24-0 Detroit. But he has made some really bad reads so far in this game, and Arizona is bailing him out with some, shall we say, subpar defensive play.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, people in Detroit are saying, David Johnson, who? We got Keith Marshall.
Yeah, Keith Marshall's already found the end zone twice, one through the air, one on the ground. Detroit's up 24-0. Now we can see this Arizona Cardinals offense come out. And let's talk about this, Sonny. This Arizona Cardinals team, they were down 10-0. They had an opportunity. They were inside the red zone. And since then, since that interception, we've seen a swing of 14 points go towards Detroit. Not to mention Arizona got 0 out of that drive. And since then, it has basically turned from a game where Arizona was hanging in, as it's a toss play out to David Johnson, trying to find something on the outside. He has a first down as he almost tore his... Yeah, he almost tore his ACL there. But we've basically seen a 21-point swing with Arizona getting no points out of that drive. Detroit scored twice since then.
Arizona, you know, you've got the rookie Ross. You're really not working him down the field. I'm kind of curious why you draft a wide receiver with the 15th overall pick. If you're not going to give him shots, you got a speed receiver. Well, again, you got one-on-one coverage here. Take a shot.
Yeah, 1st and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals, needing something to happen here in the third quarter as we're nearing the 4-minute mark. Cam Newton under center, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. First down is going to be handoff to Keith Marshall, to David Johnson, and David Johnson runs into 3 Detroit Lions there, gets nothing on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
And this is quitter football by Arizona's coaching staff. You're down 24, 3 scores, and that's assuming 8 each time, and you are running the ball. You've yet to make any impact in the passing game. You've got to figure something out here. I don't know why you spent these assets if you're not going to throw it.
2nd and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. Looks like they're trying to run a little end around. That doesn't go anywhere. It goes 5 yards maybe for Jamarque Ross. Sonny, I just want to remind everyone, because I'm going to keep bringing it up. This Arizona Cardinals team was ranked number 13 in the initial NBL Bleacher Report power rankings. Might be a little high on that one.
Yeah, just a little bit high. Interesting enough that it does seem like ownership has a stake in Bleacher Report. Maybe they influence some things, because this does not look like a top 30 team yet, let alone a top 20 team.
3rd and 5 for the Cardinals on the 43-yard line. Bunch formation, 3 to right, 1 over to the left. Cam Newton under center. He's got McNichols in at halfback, dropping back. Quick 3-step drop looking out to the flat. I don't think he got enough. Taking out the 47-yard line. He's going to be a yard short, and Arizona's going to punt this one away. Sonny Weaver, have you seen any good movies recently?
No, I haven't actually, but I did get early preview tickets for the new Star Wars movie next week.
I'm very excited for that. I think it's going to be a good one. I never did it. So I saw episode 7. I didn't see the one that was in between.
Oh, Rogue One. Yeah,
I
I fell asleep during that movie. Not a fan.
It's not a good sign. Before we get too far into this conversation, I want to give a big shout out here in the third quarter to our graphics sponsor, also our pregame sponsor. That's web3ks.com. They are super helpful. If anybody needs graphics, if you have your own stream going down there, or you just need graphics for anything, check out web3ks.com. Albeit is so easy to work with. He does custom graphics, so helpful over there. They do a lot for the NBL network. So if you're anyone who knows graphics done for an affordable price, hit up web3ks.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design, as we got a little fast forward motion there. Stafford finds Cooper underneath. It's a 5-yard game. Bring up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Web3KS, great graphics. Also go check out Highly Debatable, where I just smashed OSU yet again for my back-to-back consecutive wins.
Smashed? We're down 5-2 at the end of the episode.
Smashed.
Okay. Math is not Sonny's strength. 2nd and 5.
I don't know about that 5-2. We're going to have to find some records on that log, because I'm pretty sure I came out of that tied with you.
Nope, it was 5-2. I counted it up, took a picture of it.
You're going to have to show the photographic evidence. I do not believe you. I believe you as far as I could throw you, and, sir, I cannot.
You can't throw me very far. That's not good at all. Look, hey, just everybody right now in the chat, just post hashtag OSU wins.
Hashtag Sunny wins. Hashtag Sunny wins.
3rd and inches. Detroit up 24-0 in this one and looking to put more points on the board. Matt Stafford comes out. Shotgun formation, 5 wide receivers. Nobody in the backfield. 3 to the right, 2 over to the left. No deep safety right now, which it would concern me if I was the Cardinals. They bring a blitz. It is picked up, but Stafford getting run down. He'll chuck this one out of bounds. Surprised Stafford didn't find anyone. I think he saw the no deep safety and was able, wanted to hit somebody over the top. Did not. Instead, he has thrown it away and give the Arizona the ball back. We can see this offense come back out on the field.
Well, I think Stafford wanted to take a shot there. You know, comfortable 24-point lead here. And I think he was looking to get his shot off, but it just never opened up. He had no safety help, and, you know, that just happens sometimes.
4th down. The punt is away. Arizona's going to get up to the 24-yard line. Sonny, has there been one part of Arizona's performance today that's been good. I mean, the offense has been pretty abysmal. The defense has been pretty abysmal. Special teams hasn't been bad.
I thought the defense has played okay for Arizona. I mean, it's kind of that whole, bend not break mentality. They haven't forced any turnovers. They haven't gotten a lot of pressure on Stafford. But the offense has just been atrocious. And here's another run on first down.
Well,
and he spins into his own guy.
David Johnson spun off his own man. Callaway doesn't make the tackle, though, and Johnson's going to get up to the 39-yard line. It wasn't pretty, but David Johnson finds his way down the field. Arizona, well, they found the other side of the field for only the second time today. They're looking to not throw an interception this time around.
Well, good job. Now that they actually had a good run, they'll continue to just keep running into a brick wall for the next roughly 7.5 minutes.
I'm not hearing a whole lot of confidence, Si.
Negative Ghost Rider.
1st and 10. Cam Newton under center. He drops back to pass. Rush is coming. It's picked up. Looking over the top. And it was almost intercepted. A nice defensive play on the tight end running the little seam route. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Sonny Gubb saying, let's hear Sonny's Chipotle order and OSU's, and we vote who's better. Sonny, what is your Chipotle order?
Steak fajita burrito, extra rice, sour cream cheese, tomato, corn.
Anything else? Is that all you get usually?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a big burrito.
See, I get a burrito, white rice, pinto beans. I get double chicken. Put some hot salsa, sour cream, and cheese on that. Get me some chips and guac on the side, and I'm having a good day.
That is like 4,000 calories, sir. That's
and look at me, and I'm happy. 2nd and 10. Quick 3-step drop. Does not go well as it looked like that was Ross on the left side. Got blown up when the ball got there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for Arizona. They didn't throw the ball in the first 2 downs, and it did not go well for them as they got 0 yards.
Yeah.
Ooh, the OSU,
that's cool.
The OSU wins are coming in right now.
Well, and I'm reading that, and here's the thing. I'm not going to fat you to death with I could order 50 things too, but I try to take a little bit more health conscious. Obviously, you can't be fat and bald. You have to pick one, and so I chose. True. Or I was assigned to being bald.
If you go fat and bald, you're basically just Danny DeVito, aren't you?
Right, that's an issue. So what I end up doing is I let OSU have the hair, and I try to stay skinny and
the hair
bald.
Looks good.
We're a good combination. Check out that highly debatable thumbnail. Quite good looking.
It's a great thumbnail. That's the best thing Kyle's ever done for us. Gubb saying you have to get the tortilla in the bowl. Absolutely. I go with the burrito when I'm feeling lazy and I don't want to put it together. But when I want a little more food in the bowl, you get more food in the bowl and you put the tortilla in the bowl, you got yourself. It's not a. Okay, look, Decca. Just because you're old and the comb over is the only hairstyle you know, not that you have any hair, doesn't mean I'm doing a comb over. It's called an undercut. Be older.
So they're asking for the Taco Bell order now. So let's discuss this because this is interesting. So normally when I go to Taco Bell, I am definitely drunk.
When I go to Taco Bell, I am usually sober.
Well, I don't know how you eat that sober, but anyways,
look at me as Keith Marshall gets a nice run there.
I start with a quesarito meal. So that's the quesarito, the drink, and the taco. I changed that taco to a Doritos Locos taco.
The only way to do it. Yep.
Obviously. I had a beefy Frito burrito. Very good. Very tasty. And then I had a cheesy potato onto that. So
that's a cheesy potato. Got to be stoned. See, Porter, you're always stoned. So that's like me sober as you stoned. Like I'm always sober and always fat and hungry for Taco Bell. That's a deep ball over the middle. It's Harvey Beckham. Get out of here, speedster. We finally got to see the young, speedy wide receiver break one down the middle of the field. Touchdown, Lions. Arizona, just pray this game gets over quickly.
Yeah, turn that clock on. Come on, let's go.
So let's see. When I go to Taco Bell, here's what I usually get. I'm a big fan of the boxes that they usually have. I like trying new stuff at Taco Bell. So if the box is good, I'll get the box. I'm always but if I'm just going with the normal menu, I get the cheesy gordita crunch meal. Of course, I'm like Sonny. You got to switch those tacos over to Doritos Locos tacos. If you eat the normal tacos, you have a sad life. And then I usually get the new thing I've been getting recently. I love the quesarito. I used to be a Crunchwrap fan, but they don't put enough stuff in there, and it makes me sad inside.
Yeah.
But the quesarito, underrated. The beef quesarito especially. Love it.
Oh, very good.
Whatever that sauce they have in the beef quesarito is out of this world. But I have begun to love the spicy potato soft tacos. Get a couple of those bad boys. They're pretty good. The only downside with getting stuff with the potatoes, and I know you get the cheesy potatoes burrito, is if the potatoes aren't fresh, it's not very good. But when they're fresh and hot out of the oven, they put a spicy sauce on them. It's $1. It's well worth it.
Yeah, and so, do you remember the blackjack taco?
I do not. I've heard of it though.
Okay, so they had it like as a Halloween thing, when I was in college. And they put this sauce on there, and I don't know what it was, but I've always been searching for it again because that sauce was great. I had them put it on everything back in the day. Very, very underrated taco, the blackjack taco. If you don't know about it,
here's the thing: does anybody remember the volcano tacos and the volcano sauce? That was great. That
was horrible the next day.
Yeah, it was digestively painful, but it was delicious. And they had a bunch of stuff, and then I think they got rid of it because the Hague called and decided it was a war crime. But yeah, the beef quesarito, I think, is the most underrated thing they have on the menu because I don't hear a lot of other people talking about it. So cheers to you, Sonny Weaver. That's why we have our own show on the network.
Exactly. So I will put one caveat in there. I'm a little bit more of a steak quesarito fan.
I haven't had the steak case. I've only had Taco Bell steak as Arizona has, of course, the third down, and that's intercepted by Callaway, and just walked that one into the end zone. Let's make it 37-0. He almost missed the end zone. He did miss the end zone. He did not get it. He absolutely missed the end zone.
You know what?
That's you dumb.
You say that though. We've had two go out of bounds real close. I think there was a issue back in the day in NBL where a guy would run out of bounds close to the end zone, try to pad some stats. I wonder if an investigation will be opened after this because 2 times in one game, that's a big occurrence. I feel like maybe Detroit trying to pad some running back stats. I will be leading the commission as we talk to Lip about this investigation.
I think they saw that 29th ranked rushing offense on the overlay and they were like, we gotta fix that. As Detroit, I'm gonna punch this one in, folks. No, so as I was saying, I've had the steak once, and it was oddly because I was driving back from, as Marshawn Lynch finds the end zone, I was driving back from Columbus, stopped at a Taco Bell. They were out of ground beef, which I didn't know was a real thing you could do. And so I had the steak in a burrito, and it sort of tasted like dog food. Like, it's weird. Why is it so wet?
I don't know, because it's juicy. It's moist. It says Kyle would say moist.
Well played. But I've always been a ground beef guy. So yeah, shout out to Taco Bell. Can we get
do you ever feel like you need to mix it up though? Because I feel like sometimes they get too much ground beef because I get a bunch of different stuff, and so I feel like I have to get like something with chicken or something with steak because I feel like I got to get something different.
Do not like their chicken. No, I don't like their chicken. I sometimes mix it up, but when I mix it up, I usually get something like something with the potatoes because I think the potatoes every once in a while you sort of just want like a bean burrito. Every once in a while that just sounds good, but in general I can eat Taco Bell's beef most of the time.
Well, do you remember the old so there was chicken before this chicken back when they did the Cantina chicken. Yep. It was like lime.
That was
good. I didn't like it, and they switched from old chicken to that, and I stopped getting chicken. But then they switched to this chicken, and I'm a fan of this chicken.
I like the lime chicken, the Cantina chicken. Gub asking best Fortnite player in NBL.
Not Sonny Weaver.
As Cam Newton finds a man on the outside and get up to the 46-yard line, first down for Arizona. Best Fortnite player.
I would say Eric. Nah, Eric's really good.
Eric is good. You know what? I'm going to give a lot of credit. I have seen Gub do some, under pressure, I think Gub is the best. Oh. I have seen him get into, some real tough situations, and I'll sit there and I'll just see 4 kills from Gub. You want to know who's the worst, though? As that one, of course, is intercepted. Tease Tabor with the pick for the Detroit Lions. 4-4 to go here in the fourth quarter. You know who's not good? Porter.
Oh, I can see that.
Porter... And the only reason Porter's not good, although unisolated is tough to play with because he'll be sitting there getting shot and then he'll go down, but he won't have said a word. He won't have been like, "Hey, somebody help me." He'll just be laying on the ground, and we'll be like, "Oh, you down, buddy?" He'll be like, "Yeah, I got killed by 3 people." It's like, "Oh, good to know." Porter just gets distracted and we'll just be running down. We'll be in the middle of a firefight. He'll be chopping down a tree. That's Porter. Porter is the guy who gets lost going down the stairs. He gets lost in Fortnite too. Deca wanders though. Deca is a wanderer. You'll look on the map. You'll see everybody all together and then one yellow arrow way on the outskirts. And be like, "I lost you guys. Where the hell did you guys go? I don't know where I am anymore. Be like, Deca, you're
spot on Deca impression.
Yeah, and we'll be like, Deca, you're not even in the game anymore. You're in Madden. You're not gonna find us. And be like, what the hell is going on? It's like, all right, well, he's old. Oh yeah, Porter destroys chests too. Although he can't defend himself. Bomber destroyed 3 chests in 1 game.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah. Anywho, any other questions you want answered while we're here? We're not going to be talking about this game. It's 38-0. Detroit on top. First down is going to be hand off to Keith Marshall. Doesn't make anyone miss with that juke move. And gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, when you're up 38-0, you really don't have to make anybody. Basically, just run, punt.
All right, so
run, punt.
I'm going to ask you a question, Sonny, because this has been a debate within our friend group here in Detroit. Which one is the best and which one is the worst between, like, Applebee's, TGI Fridays, and Chili's?
Oh, the worst is definitely Applebee's, by far. Not even close. I would put next TGI Fridays with Chili's on top.
What do you like about Chili's?
They have this really good chicken pasta. It's a chicken penne pasta that I really like.
It actually is really good. Yeah.
I love that thing. Whenever I go there, I get that, and you're like, oh, you're going to Chili's, and you're like, oh, you're gonna get fajitas or something. No, I get the chicken penne pasta. Very good. Very good.
The only credit I give Applebee's is their hot boneless wings are really good. They're really good.
Let me
Chili's
give you a
is the
little,
best out of those 3, though.
Let me give you a pro tip about Applebee's. Had a brother work there once. Everything is microwaved.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, that's why I love their wings, because they taste just like the wings you can buy in the grocery store. Right, I love that. That's amazing. Chili's is the best. They have these like Texas cheese fries that are just great. Here's the problem with Fridays, and this is welcome to Detroit. There's a TGI Fridays, I can walk to it from my apartment, and I've been there 3 times, and I've been at that restaurant as me and my wife over 2 hours all 3 times because they take so long. I'm like,
well,
it's
because they have all those endless apps.
Nah, I wish it was. The endless apps are just a giant cock tease. They're like, you can get endless apps. Don't you dare share them. Don't even if we see you eat one, we're charging you for another one. Oh.
Wait, so they don't have the upgrade charge at yours where you can like upgrade to be able to like share them?
Nope.
Oh wow, really?
They just yell at you. They basically call the cops on you. Like that's what happens if you share.
Bad.
Outback is hot garbage and expensive.
Ooh. The blooming onion I'll eat, but yeah, I agree. The steaks are crap.
The blooming onion is good. Is real good. And I will say, makes me... Well, by the way, didn't get the first down on that play, just in case anyone was paying attention to the game. Here's what I will say. The blooming onion makes me feel like Taco Bell is health food.
Deep fried, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas Roadhouse, definitely a fan. Deca, good call.
Texas Roadhouse, I think I've been to twice.
Really?
Not a ton up here in Detroit. Look, there's not really a big call for Texas Roadhouse up here, okay? What's your opinion on Red Lobster?
Ooh, cheesy biscuits, great.
Yeah.
Seafood fan, though.
Oh, you're not a seafood fan? That's sad. Neither is my wife. The Cheddar Bay biscuits are...
Oh, amazing.
I don't want to eat anything else. Just let me... Can I pay $8 to just eat Cheddar Bay biscuits?
Well, the secret is you fill up on that. You get like the 3-course meal. You fill up on biscuits and the salad, and you take the pasta home with you or whatever you're getting, and you eat it later. 2 meals for the price of 1.
No, don't like ribs and chicken in Detroit. No, it's just there's a lot of local ribs and chicken places, and so the chain ones don't last really hard. They have a lot of individual chicken places here in Detroit. Come on, it's Detroit. 2nd and 5. For the Cardinals, this game still definitely happening. It's a toss play to David Johnson, who spins his way into a tackle. It takes to a 2-minute warning. Okay, Tyler Porter, Qdoba, Chipotle, Moe's best to worst. Best is Chipotle, the worst out of those. I like Moe's second. Qdoba, okay. Everybody brags about Qdoba. Their queso is very good. I have been to Qdoba 3 times, and all 3 times the rice was crunchy. You're off my list forever, Qdoba.
Okay, so I've never been to Moe's, so I have to pull myself out of that.
Moe's not bad. They've got ground beef, which is what I like about them.
Yeah, see, again, I'm not a ground beef fan, but, you know, what I'll say about Qdoba is I feel when I eat Qdoba, it's not as salty. Like, I feel like I know Chipotle's thing is fresh and whatnot, but I feel like Qdoba may, you know, I just don't feel so so like bloated after it. I like Qdoba.
I just feel like Qdoba is just like, I've had their chicken after eating Chipotle's chicken. Their chicken tastes like there's not a lick. I mean, it's not salty because there's not a lick of seasoning on it.
Well, again, I get steak, so I don't have this issue.
Homer says Moe's misspelled Qdoba, dumpster diving, then Chipotle. Homer, I forgot. You're a communist. I'm sorry. I don't know why I asked this question. But I will say I love Chipotle. I've been a Chipotle fan forever. Chipotle's queso might be the worst thing ever created.
Oh, it was. They
it's so bad.
Should close down that place over that queso because it is trash. Hot trash.
It is real bad. And part of it is like saltiness for me because I love the chorizo, and that's what they got rid of to bring the queso. The queso tastes like beer cheese that they forgot to put beer in and left out on the counter.
I can see that.
Popeyes over KFC. Yeah.
Want to talk about Raising Cane's?
Raising Cane's is the greatest thing in the world, and I'm so mad there's not one close to me. It is so good.
Oh, wow, there's not? There's like 3 by me now. It's great.
There's the closest one to me is the one that's by my house in Columbus. Like, there's not one between Detroit and Columbus until you hit Columbus. Or if you go to Indianapolis. But no, Raising Cane's, that dipping sauce, I want a bucket of it, and I want to dip everything in it. It's so good. And their chicken fingers are so good. Are you a Skyline fan?
I do. I like Gold Star and Skyline. I don't really care, but
I have not had Gold Star. There's not Gold Stars in Columbus. There's only Skylines.
Really? Yeah. I just had Skyline tonight, actually.
Skyline is great. Skyline is great. When my buddy flies into town from Texas, we get some Skyline, and it's top notch. I did get an opportunity when I was out west, and I have to give credit to somebody who I know is not here and I know doesn't care, but Project Fat introduced me to Jack in the Box, and 10 out of 10 on Jack in the Box.
Well, they had to close all these Jack in the Boxes out by us for food poisoning. They all got shut down kind of
all right, thanks.
out here. And they're
Project Fat trying to kill me. Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, well, that makes sense for Fat.
Tyler Porter, I've never had the cane thing.
He's a bad person. We all know this.
Can we say that Raising Cane's is amazing, not only because there are only 4 things on the menu. The Texas toast is amazing. And you can switch out any of the sides for more sides of something else. Like, I never get the coleslaw. I just get extra fries. It's real good. I get the Caniac. Get some extra fries with that. Little extra dipping sauce. See, now I'm pissed because I haven't had dinner. I was at a home inspection for 4 hours today. Haven't eaten.
That's rough. Well, the good thing is there's only 20 seconds left in this game, and we're going to get to go eat.
Yeah, seriously. Was 23 viewers I see right now, of which I can guarantee you nobody has paid attention to this game.
Well, what's been great
exactly
is
what you predicted,
24 people sit here and listen to us talk about food for the last half.
You're welcome, folks. That's the great part. Sonny, that's why as this game mercifully over 38-0, Detroit wins. Thank God I don't have to watch this anymore. That's the great part, though. Even when we have these craptastic games, because of how bad NBL Live was last season, we really got to practice our conversation for when the games go bad. That's called reps. NBL Live Player of the Game, broadcast 152, definitely happened. Nobody on Arizona gets anything. You get nothing, you lose. I think they should have to walk home from Detroit. I guess, for me, I would go Keith Marshall. 2 touchdowns. Actually really set the tone for Detroit, but you could sell me on anyone else.
Yeah, I like Keith Marshall. Lana obviously could go with the rookie, but he got his big play in kind of trash time. I think Marshall kind of sprung this game, so let's go with Keith Marshall.
Garbage time from now on, known as Cardinals time, as Keith Marshall will be your player of the game for broadcast 152. If you want to check out all of our player of the game archives, you can check it out all the way back to broadcast number 1. It's really cool. It's on our website, 365.maddenbomberlink.com. It's under the NBL Live tab. You can also apply for the NBL if you're looking for a CFM to join. Also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so you know each and every time we're live. We've got a lot of live programming right now here on the NBL Network. Sonny, that's what's really exciting, as we've got some great original programming here. BTF, of course, comes out, but the majority of our shows here are live and interactive, and that's what makes the network fun.
Exactly. The interactive shows are a big deal, and we've pushed for more of that, and we will continue to push for more as we find resources to do it.
Well, let's take a look before we get out of here, Sonny, to our Week 3 matchup coming up. It is the New York Jets facing off against #NotTop5 Cleveland Browns. Sonny, mind how far the Cleveland Browns have fallen from their possible playoff success all the way to where they are now. Now they face off against a New York Jets team who is looking to make a statement and set themselves apart from everybody else in that AFC East.
And so that's what we talked about, obviously, and highly debatable if you check that out. I took the Jets to make a little bit of a surprise run this year, and I think that starts on NBL Live. I like what they're doing out there. Obviously, Jay going down, but I am apparently a much bigger believer in Matt Forte, the ageless wonder, than you are.
That's true. That's true. Well, it should be a great game here, folks. Week 3, Browns and Jets. That game will be, what's today? Today's Monday, so we're probably looking, maybe it might be tomorrow night, more likely Wednesday, but just follow us on Twitter at Bomber League. We'll announce the game time there. Sonny, this game mercifully over. I'm going to go get some Chipotle. Final thoughts on what was definitely not a game.
Lions are still good. Cardinals are still bad.
I'm calling the Cardinals hashtag not top 20. That's what I'm going with. I'm still mad about that they got placed 13th. Well, they proved how good they were tonight. So a shout out to Bleacher Report for those rankings. Hashtag not top 20, the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us, listening to us ramble about various restaurants throughout the second half. Your final score, once again, 38-0. Detroit on top for my co-host, Sonny Weaver. I'm OSU. We'll see you next week. Browns and Jets right here on NBL Live.